It's crazy to think that 10 years ago, the idea of a shared universe wasn't even fathomable until this film hit. This film was a huge risk as the newly formed Marvel Studios did not own the film rights to the characters that had really made them famous in the past. I was an X-Men and Spider-Man kid growing up when it came to Marvel. Making a feature film based on a B-list Marvel character like Iron Man just seemed ludicrous, as he was just someone who popped up in Spider-Man's cartoons, and honestly, growing up as a kid, I was actually a bigger War Machine fan. Not only were you taking a lot of risks in casting Robert Downey Jr. as Tony Stark, considering, and understandably so, how much baggage had come with him from the past, how would you pull this all off, especially with a director like Jon Favreau, who had been primarily known for comedies in the past? The best word that I have to describe this film is the same word that Richard Donner instilled in his Superman the movie, as did Sam Raimi with his Spider-Man film. And that word is verisimilitude, or treating the world and character of Iron Man with realism and respect. And this is the word and film that really defines the entire Marvel Cinematic Universe. Sure, there are a lot of jokes in this film, and it's a very fun blockbuster type of ride, but the film takes a lot of time to really make you care about Tony Stark as a character. And just an FYI, there will be spoilers in this video review if you have not seen Iron Man. The film dedicates the first hour of introducing you to Tony Stark and his path to becoming Iron Man. I love the way the film drops us into the thick of it straight away, where it's just Tony, his personality, and a group of soldiers, showing us who exactly we're going to be following throughout the film. Dated MySpace references and all. But I think it's safe to say that the moment we see Robert Downey Jr. in this film as Tony Stark, we know straight away that's Iron Man, that's Tony Stark. We know exactly what we're getting, and from then on, Robert Downey Jr. has become immortalized and synonymous with Iron Man and Tony Stark. There is no one else we could really see playing this character. We get the wonderful arc of Tony starting out very egotistical and selfish and becoming more selfless and caring of those around him by the end of the film, the trait that makes a good hero. Gwyneth Paltrow as Pepper Potts is great in this, I think. She's certainly got a lot more energy and interest in this film than when she was getting a little bit more tired by the time Iron Man 3 came around. She has a great human layer to Tony, especially obviously being his heart in all of this, and in turn the heart of the movie. The one that always gets me is Terrence Howard popping up as James Rhodes, or Rhodey, who obviously ended up being recast in Iron Man 2 with Don Cheadle. And I don't mind Terrence Howard in the role. I actually enjoy watching him in the film. It's just the continuity that messes with my head, and it always feels like a bit of a bummer how it never really got to be War Machine. Because that tease back in the day, the next time baby, man, I was waiting for that moment. But little did I know I only had to wait about a couple of years for War Machine to be on the screen. But obviously things didn't work out, and we've had a great Don Cheadle as War Machine for the past 8 years, so I'm not really complaining. I honestly always forget that Clark Gregg was in this film as Phil Coulson, who obviously gets a bigger role later on in the MCU, but it's always nice seeing him pop up again, because the first time I watched the film, he was just some S.H.I.E.L.D. guy. I do like the way that they handled the teasing and build-up of S.H.I.E.L.D. in this film to the eventual post-credit scene, with Samuel L. Jackson as Nick Fury at the end, which back in the day I actually missed when I saw it in the theaters. I actually had to go back and see it on DVD just to catch it because I didn't even know it was there until people told me about it. And honestly, what a way to spark an entire universe. Just a little nugget to get you excited for what's about to come, but didn't shoehorn anything into the film that detracted Iron Man from being a great, fun experience. Marvel Studios really allowed Iron Man to be its own great, entertaining film without having to worry about setting up future films, and I think that is the key strength here with Iron Man. There is unfortunately the downside with the film in Obadiah Stane, or Ironmonger, and while Jeff Bridges is fantastic in the role, providing the friendly mentor role to Tony that makes him appear trusting, but also the snap and change into the more menacing role he plays later on in the film. While Stane is a bit more developed than some other Marvel villains, it still feels like a waste of Jeff Bridges to this day. As yes, we get some nuggets earlier in the film that he will eventually turn bad, particularly when Tony is first rescued from the Ten Rings base. But there's never really a great deal more done with the character, other than the whole I built this company up after your dad died, so now I'm going to kill you for it because I feel like I'm entitled to the company. It does feel underdeveloped, but as we all know, the focus for Marvel Studios has always been in developing their heroes and making us care for them, and that's what they do. We get all the fun, great action set pieces that we've come to expect from Marvel Studios. From the original escape from the Afghan base, to Iron Man's first encounter with the terrorists and the Air Force, to that big final showdown with Obadiah. All of these moments are fun and exciting, and at the time that they came out, they were the coolest thing ever that we'd seen in a superhero film. And to this day, they're still pretty cool. Iron Man also really benefits from being shot on film. This movie is really beautiful with a lot of rich blacks and depth to the image that films like Captain America 1 and onwards didn't really get because they were all shot on digital, which unfortunately is a bit disappointing. But Iron Man will always be a game changer in the superhero landscape, as it introduced us to a world that we didn't know was coming and gave us a damn fun film while doing it. Sure, there have been better Marvel films since Iron Man 1, but you cannot deny how great of a time Iron Man 1 was and the influence it has had on the superhero genre. Iron Man 1 gets a 9 out of 10 from me. Hey guys, this will be part of an ongoing series of Marvel Cinematic Universe reviews leading up to the release of Avengers Infinity War. So what I will be doing is reviewing the MCU films that I haven't previously reviewed. So for me that means from Iron Man through to Captain America Civil War, as I already have reviews for Doctor Strange and onward that you can already catch on the channel. So stay tuned for the Incredible Hulk and more as I pump these out every week or so. You'll at least get one of these reviews at least once a week. So thank you very much guys for tuning in. I hope you stay right here for your mono fix. Bye guys.